Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity with me, Break It Dawn. Let's return to Caed Nua and see about starting the Battle for Yenwood Field so that we can finally put Lord Gathbin in his place. But before we start that, I'm going to swing by Warden Fiergan's place to drop off the bounty we just did. Make sure we cash out on all of our hard work in case we die during the battle. It is far better to die wealthy, right? You know, and some armies march to war with a war drum, some use flutes. He's having a good time. But we're going to march to war to the sound of the gold jingling in our pockets.
Welcome!
Fiergan nods at you. Good hunting, I hope. What can I do for you? I'm here for the bounty on Devwin. Ah, good. Here's the bounty. Anything else? What are the most recent bounties? You've taken down some dangerous foes. Impressive work. Kith know they can count on you. I've still got a few more for you, though. You fancy getting your hands dirty again? Oh, really? Huh. I really wasn't expecting more bounties. Let's see. There's a pack of wizards with a price on their heads. Then there's another bounty offer from the Glenfathan tribes. Last one is going to be rough. Ever tangled with a Vithrak before? Tell me about the wizards. Now this one. Ah. Looks like someone crossed the Dominels. High Arcanist Isley. She and her cabal of wizards are holed up in the tower in Heritage Hill. Tell me about the Glenfathan bounty. The bounty is for Narak the Prophet, the Glenfathan exile. He was banished from his tribe for his, extreme views. Narak's a cipher, and it seems like he's taken an interest in an Ingwithan site north of Gilded Vale, Salant Lys. Several tribes have pulled together the coin for his bounty. They say they don't want him tampering with some machine out there. I'm going after the Vithrak. Well, one of their exarchs, the Sirkal, has turned up in Pearlwood Bluff with some of his kin. This offer is unsigned, but it seems like someone doesn't want him sticking around. Well, neat. Really didn't think there was going to be more of those, but I'll gladly take them. That doesn't change our plans for this episode, though. I still plan on starting the Battle for Yenwood Field.
Gelade, well done. A
Sure.
formidable fortress in the... anymore, you know. Not by the sea. Too vulnerable to cannons.
You can respec from this menu. I wish that you could swap out your companions from this menu as well.
Farewell.
Yeah.
Farewell.
Huh? Huh?
Okay, let's go take care of this poser.
Right.
Alright, so she either needs might or intellect. She has a high intellect already. Let's give her more might. And is he even missing anything? Got might, constitution, dexterity, perception, intellect, and resolve. He only has +1 to dexterity, so I think we're going to give him +2 instead. Alright, what's his weakness? So it has... nothing. I think Burnproof is the most thematic option for Durance. Gonna make this superb as well. Just grab something for that. Don't really care which one it is. Oh, I'm messing this up. I can't make these legendary. That's okay. They don't really need to be legendary. So I'm not going to fret about it. Plus, we might find some other loot. Especially with the 3 bounties that we have. I'm sure Lord Gathman has some fine equipment on himself. So... Lord Gathman's army grows, Donald. Don't ignore his threat. Let's talk about my army. Oh, cool. I got several crag ogres from the Flames That Whisper clan will join with your infantry. I was hoping the Fangs would join me as well. Alright, if there's anything else you wish to know, please ask. It is time, Marshal. Assemble the army and march to Yenwood Field. Are you certain? Once our forces are committed, you won't be able to bolster them with additional troops or allies. Yes, I'm sure. Well, hold on. On second thought, let's hold off for now. Yeah, what's the status of my regular troops? Too green and too few. How do I make them... Alright, we need to recruit veteran troops. I know a company or two of veterans that would be willing to join us for a bit of coin. I'd say 10,000 copper should cover the expenses. Well, this should do. His eyes widen. It will be done. Alright, cool, so this has changed. So what's the status of my regular troops? It's as good as it can be, given the circumstances. With your willingness to spend coin, we should attract some veteran warriors as well. They'll be useful for their experience and will help with morale if the situation becomes dire. Okay, it's time. Excellent. Morale is high and the troops are eager to follow you to glory. Are you certain you wish to march? Yes, I'm sure. Give the order. As you command. I'll march the army to Yenwood Field. Will you be accompanying us? Yes, let's march. I think that should also give them a morale bonus, since I'm going with them. It's always good to see the leadership in the field with you. As you crest a small hill overlooking Yenwood Field, Lord Gathman's army is a flurry of activity, scurrying to and fro. Even from this distance, you can hear the drums of war, beating their steady cadence designed to intimidate their foes, while organizing the rank and file into battle formations. Marshal Forwin approaches. You've arrived just in time. Lord Gathman's forces are beginning to move. An attack is imminent. Inspect your forces. Local militia constitutes the majority of the army. The veteran soldiers have organized their ranks and walk amongst the young, unseasoned warriors offering advice or the occasional joke. They cheer, striking sword to shield as you pass, in thunderous approval of their lord. Among the troops, a small group of warriors shine brighter than the others. Crucible knights, standing tall in gleaming plate, armor and armed with spear and shield. They stand at attention, spear centered as you pass. You pass a group of crag ogres working themselves into a frenzy. They carve jagged wounds across each other's chest and back, their war cries echoing throughout the camp. Your troops give them a wide berth. Any idea what Gathman is planning? Marshal Forwin strokes his chin. His ultimate objective is to face you in battle, and to be seen defeating you. I doubt he is foolish enough to challenge you to single combat, of course. Well, sound the horn, Marshal Forwin. It's time to finish this. Marshal Forwin begins barking orders, and your troops quickly form up. Gathman's army follows suit, as the deer and war drums echo across the field. In a few moments, the Marshal raises a brass horn and the visage of a mighty boar to his lips. He looks at you expectantly. Yeah, we're just gonna nod. Your troops bellow across the field, counting weapon to shield, as the Marshal's horn sounds. Dozens of bowstrings twang in unison behind you, as your archers unleash a hail of arrows at Gathman's army. The missiles hiss through the air with deadly accuracy, felling scores of enemies. In a bold move, Gathman points his sword towards your position, giving an unheard order. His infantry, shields raised, charge the field. Your infantry charges headlong into the enemy infantry in the center of the field. The cacophonous sound of metal on metal is nearly deafening as the two forces collide. The fighting is fierce and the screams of the dying numerous. Led by veteran warriors rallied to your cause, the troops fight valiantly and appear to be holding their ground. The battle thus far appears to be a stalemate. Then, a group of adherent battle mages emerges from behind the enemy lines. They begin weaving their hands in unison with practiced precision. Suddenly, waves of arcane fire erupt among your troops. The acrid smell of smoke and burning flesh is nearly overwhelming. In the left flank, a unit of Roatai berserkers, clad in plate armor and wielding greatswords, begins to collapse the left side of the line. The ground is thick with the dead as they press their advantage. Meanwhile, Bleakwalker paladins, dressed in dark armor and carrying sword and shield, stride back and forth behind Gathman's lines, rallying his warriors and exhorting them to fight harder. As the battle rages, Marshal Forwin looks to you for orders. Study the battlefield. Your troops fight bravely, and your lines are holding for the moment. Gathman's army is slowly pushing you back, and casualties are mounting. Defeat is likely. Yeah, I think the battle mages are the biggest problem. We need to deal with those battle mages. What's your plan, Lord Donald? Sound the charge for our ogre allies. Yeah, I mean, they're the best shock troops we have, I think, so send them in. The Crag Ogres charge the Gathman lines in a blood frenzy. Using their size, many of the ogres leap over the enemy line, ignoring grievous wounds. While many fall, nearly a dozen reach the battle mages. A high-pitched scream permeates the din of battle as you see an unarmed ogre lift one of the mages overhead and rip him in two. Shortly after, the magical barrage against your army ceases. As the battle rages, Marshal Forwin looks to you for orders. Yeah, take out the Berserkers next, as they're collapsing one part of our line. The Bleakwalkers, they're keeping the enemy forces in check. But that's just a morale boost. I think we're fine without dealing with them next. So take out the Berserkers. What unit should I send? Forwin bellows over the din of battle. Send in the Crucible Knights. The Knights of the Crucible form a shield wall to reinforce the crumbling left flank. Roatai Berserkers throw themselves against the wall with reckless abandon. Each time a knight falls, another steps into the breach, shield held high, and spear at the ready. The Berserkers' losses are many, and within a few minutes, it is clear the wall will hold. As the battle rages, Marshal Forwin looks to you for orders. The Bleakwalkers must die. So, okay, we could have... I was told that the Raid Syrian guy from the second part, the White March DLC, could have joined us for this fight. So I guess that's the only third option you get. Marshal Forwin shakes his head. We have no allies available to throw against them. Our only hope is to break through Gathman's line and kill him. Alright. Everyone on me. Charge. As the remainder of your forces charge, a horn sounds in the distance. A new contingent of warriors crests a nearby hill. As Gathman's reinforcements charge headlong into the fray, his other troops cheer triumphantly. Shouts of joy soon turn to roars of dismay as the new arrivals begin attacking Gathman's infantry. You make out the figure of Captain Emery leading the charge in her dark armor. She kills one of Gathman's men with a well-aimed pistol shot, before running another through with a gleaming rapier. She fells one foe after another, pausing briefly at one point to salute you with her sword from across the battlefield. Well, neat. I almost forgot all about her. As the battle rages, your forces are clearly winning the day. Gathman's army begins to collapse. Donald. Lord Gathman strides through the carnage, his elite guard accompanying him. I'll not have you take this victory from me. It's time I put you down like the dog you are. Most stoic option. I want to salute him. That might get under his skin. Because he sees me as less than him. So yeah, salute Gathman with your weapon. Oh man. Frame rate is going to tank here, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's the man himself. Alright, nothing to it. Lord Gathman lies dead before you, his army scattered. Bloodied and exhausted, your remaining troops look to you, swords raised high in victory, chanting your name. Donald, Donald. I'm not gonna say or cheer my own name. Holding the hem of his robe as he steps over several bodies, Chancellor Warren approaches you. Although his face is pale, and he looks as if he will be sick at any moment, he forces a smile. Lord Donald, while I'm grateful this dispute is finally over, it is regrettable so many lives were lost in the process. Gathman should have just been reasonable from the start. He gags involuntarily as his silk boot brushes against the severed head. In any event, as the legal arbiter of Earl Badamar, I'm here to inform you that you've been declared a Thane of the Deerwood, and Caed Nua has been recognized as your domain. It shall forever be thus, and will pass down to any descendants you may have in the future. Of course, now that your claim has been upheld, you are expected to forward a small portion of any taxes you collect to your rightful lord, Earl Badamar. That sounds reasonable. It appears my work is done. Feel free to visit the place if... He steps in a pile of entrails with a wet squish as he turns to leave. On second thought, I'll come and visit you. Yes. Perhaps in a year, or 3. Lord Donald, it's been an honor to serve you. I'll be making my way back to Garen's Grasp. The Earl has some urgent business for me there, unfortunately. If you ever find yourself that far north, feel free to call on me. I'll have to trade war stories with you over a cup or two. He grasps your hand firmly in a firm grip. Sorry, briefly. I was looking too far ahead. He grasps your hand briefly in a firm grip, then turns on his heel. He grasps your hand firmly in a firm grip. Gathman family signet. Grants Lord's authority, 1 per stronghold turn. +5 to might, +5 to resolve, immunity to charmed, and dominated for 30 seconds. A +10% ability area of effect. This ring has been passed down from father to son and the Gathbin family for generations. Thanks to you, that tradition has been permanently shattered. Though made for the Gathbins, the power of the ring is connected to the rule of Caed Nua itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we might have loot in the chest behind the merchant as well. Because didn't Mineo finish a quest not too long ago? I should use that horn to summon more ogres to our side. Forgot that I had that. Yeah, I selected the ogres to go after the battle mages because they seem like the best shock troops. They'd probably be good against the bleak walkers
Sure.
as well. So the bleak walkers are less likely to break. The whole point of shock troops is to break the enemy. And then the Crucible Knights I thought would be good against the Roatai Berserkers. You have Discipline and a Shield Wall. I didn't necessarily know they're going to form a Shield Wall, but Discipline unit versus a Berserker unit.
Yeah.
And since they were there to reinforce a flank, I think the Discipline unit would have prevailed. And they did.
Last thing the deer.
Okay. Got up here. I guess Heritage Hill first, right? Now we have a series of 3 bounties to take care of. Yeah, all we have left is, besides like the main story, and turning in this, of course, is Durance's quest.
Yeah. If doubts and curiosity...
Really wish these two dialogue options
If
would stay
doubts
grayed
and
out.
Yeah.
Does it say that they're at the top of the tower? I think that's what it was. It just says refuge. Okay. I'm gonna call it here. Next episode we'll track down these 3 bounties. And I guess if there's time after that, go to Tyr Evron and petition Hylia. And if we can speak to all the gods, I would like to. But we'll see. Either way, for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.